Mr. Snyder here with the 7th tutorial of Audacity, which is part of the Grade 9 Exploring Technologies course. This is the audio video unit that's part of the Grade 9 course. In this particular case, the audio and video unit would lead into a Grade 10 course and then followed by 11, and then in Grade 12 it turns into a more film production course. So that's where this unit leads to, is the Grade 10 and 11 audio and video production course. Okay, what I'm showing you here right now is the project files that I have saved for Audacity as I've made major changes during the tutorials. And it goes from version 1 to version 8. You notice that these project files end with the file extension .aup. That tells the computer what kind of file this is. It's in an Audacity audio file, so it's going to open up Audacity if you double clicked it. What I wanted you to take note of here was the size of these project files. They're very, very small. They're only kilobytes big, and they take up a really insignificant amount of space on your computer. That's why we can save multiple versions. Why is that? Because these project files are not saving the media inside of the project files. They're only saving the instructions telling the program what to do with those files after they've been imported. So it keeps them very small and we don't have to worry about saving those multiple versions. Keep in mind a photo on your phone might be anywhere from 1 to 3 megabytes, millions of bytes big. These are only a fraction of that size. Added up together is a very, very small amount of space on your computer. Okay, now let's move to the editing of the commercial on the Audacity timeline. Again, the male voices are all on track 1, the female voices are all on track 2. You always edit voices first. You can't try to mix the music and sound effects and all that stuff until the voices are laid down in the order they need to be and kind of in the rough timing they need to be in. Okay, so you always start with voices. What did we do? We added noise reduction to all of our clips. We also trimmed off the beginning and the end of all of our clips to get rid of any extra sound, room tone that might have been there. And then last tutorial, we also went to each and every one of the clips and we set the levels for them to peak no higher than -3 decibels. Decibels, again, is the unit of measure for audio. So any clip I play now should not exceed -3 decibels.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the...
Okay, and you also see it goes green to yellow to orange. We don't want to get into the red. If you see red, you're dead. -3.
Get me a Band-Aid and check the bacon.
Good, and it's peaking where it needs to peak. That's great. The -3 to 0, that space there that we're not using, which is represented graphically here, is called headroom. It's extra space above that gives us a little bit of leeway for our audio levels so we're not hitting 0. And that's called headroom. In our case, we have a 3 dB headroom from -3 to 0. Okay, so let's get into the editing now. So let me just reduce the size of the male track. Now, how do we know what order the lines that we have here appear in the commercial? We've kind of made it easy for you by giving clip numbers to all the voice clips. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to appear in the script. And really the trick on this one is if you look at this first male clip, it has 2 lines of the script. How do I know that? Well, you've got to have the script open. That's how we'll know. Let me find the script. Here it is. Okay, let's look at the script. Now let me break this down for you. On the left in the first column, we have all of the sound effects that you're going to hear in this commercial. Okay, and there they all are there in the order they're going to be heard, and also at the time, at what line of the script you're going to hear them. Okay, so not only in the order, but when am I going to hear these different sounds? Okay, second line is column is for music. This music says it plays throughout. It means the music's going to play start to finish. Okay, the next column is for character. I call it character rather than male or female because the people performing this script were exactly that, a character. Not just reading a script, but actually performing it. And that's how you bring the words on the page to life, is by performing. You see male, line 1, that's not clip 1, that's this person's first line. I'm making dinner tonight. Stop. The first female line, oh really? What are you making? Now this is going to be important. We follow the script when we place the voices in order. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go based on the script. I'm going to go find this first line. I'm making dinner tonight. It's a male voice. Okay, so now I'm looking at the timeline in Audacity, and the male track, of course, is our top one. You're very familiar with the tracks, male and female, as well as all the individual clips by now, having been doing some work on all of them. I'm going to go to the start of clip 1 in the male using my selection tool. Okay, and I'm going to click right before it. I'm going to blow this up a bit so we can see it. See, I'm not quite at the start, so I'm going to go right to the start. I'm going to play, and I'm looking for the line that says, hello, dear, I'm making dinner tonight.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
And then I've paused it, not stopped it, but paused the play bar. Notice it stays there and it's got the green triangle above. This tells me that this play bar right now is paused at this point. Now, the reason I've done that is to show you a couple of things. Number one, in order to split this clip in half so I can take the first line of the script and separate it from the third line of the script, I need to split it. Well, to do so, you'd go Edit, Clip Boundaries, and Split. But look, it's grayed out. And that's because I'm in pause. I haven't stopped it and then used my selection tool. If you're in pause, you can't split. Okay, the second thing you can't do, let me just minimize this. Sorry, I'm pushing the wrong button. If I say wanted to use my time shift tool here and say I wanted to move a track around right now and I'm in pause, you notice I get the no, can't do it symbol. I can't both split a clip, nor can I actually move something around in pause. I have to get out of pause. So what am I going to do? Go back to my selection tool, go back to the start of the clip, hit play, takes it out of pause.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
And then just stop it again. It goes to the start. Now, I know this is where I'm going to split it. So now I'm going to blow this up just to make it a little easier. And now what I'm going to do is place my selection tool. So you don't have that green bar up here showing me I'm paused anymore. And now I can go to Edit, Clip Boundaries, and Split. The shortcut for it, Command I. You can write that down on your little shortcut list. But we haven't been using a lot of shortcuts with this program. But I'm going to split it. Now you see you get that heavy black line there. Now go to your time shift tool, and I'm going to grab the second part of that clip, and I'm just going to, look at that, I can open it up now. Okay, previously Command Z, it's no longer split. If I use the time shift tool, it's moving everything. Command Z to put it back. If I now split it, Command I, now it's made it into two different parts and essentially two different clips. Time selection tool, and now I can separate them. And then what do you think I'd do? I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm going to go and clean off that part, and I'm going to clean off. Now look at this. I've got a little bit of extra noise in this. I'm going to go a little closer there, and I'm going to clean that clip off at the start. Go back to time shift tool. I'm just going to move it over just to make a little bit of space, and back to my selection tool, which is kind of my home tool where I want to live. Now, there's my first line of script, just to confirm it.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Good. Okay, what's the second line? Is the female voice saying, oh really? What are you making? So I don't want to hear the male voice right now after that first line. Oh really? What are you making? So right now, if I was to use my selection tool and play from this point,
Bacon and
I got to get all this audio out of the way. So what's the quickest way to do it? I'm just going to go and select all these clips, time shift tool, and I'm just going to move everything down. Okay, and then I'm also going to make some space down here on my female track, because if you look, if I play here, what I'm going to do now is take solo off the male so I can hear the female. I'm going to solo just the female. I'm looking for that second line that says, oh really? What are you making?
Oh no, really? What are you making?
Okay, so that's the second line of the script. It's the female's first clip. So I'm going to, again, selection tool. I'm going to select the clips that come after that line because I want to move this line of script over. Time Shift tool, move everything over, go to that first clip, and I'm going to move it into place. Now, if you look up and down, you can see this is where the male clip ends right here. This is where the female clip starts. So I've got to line them up as best I can so it sounds natural. Not so it looks natural, but it sounds natural. So let's see if this first line by the male sounds natural, followed by the first line of the female. So I'm going to go back to the start of the male, play it, and then listen to both these clips.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh no, really? What are you making?
Okay, I think it's a little bit tight. I think the female voice comes in just a little soon, so I'm just going to move it to the right a little bit. Now, we may have to readjust this later based on what? Based on the fact that it's a 30-second commercial, no more than, and maybe we do have to make the voices tighter together just to come in under 30 seconds. So let's go back and play it again. I've given it a bit more space here. Let me just blow this up a bit. You can see how it helps if you magnify. There you go. I don't want to make a range, just click. It's just a little bit finicky. Come on now. There we go.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh no, really? What are you making?
So I delayed that female clip just a little bit, and to me it sounds a little more natural. Okay, so what's the next line of the script? Let's go to the script. And you know, we know that this all comes in order. There we go. So I'm making dinner tonight. Oh, really? What are you making? We've done those two. Next line is bacon and tomato sandwiches. And that's the clip that I've just split off from the first clip. So play it. Just confirm it's the right clip.
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Yep, that's it. Time Shift tool. Drag it over. Again, I'm looking at vertically how they line up. If it's too far over, listen to how this is going to sound. Selection tool, hit play from about, never play right at the edit point. I always back it up a bit, give your ears a chance to adjust before they hear the edit.
What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
A little bit tight, okay? And if I had messed up a little more, I might have moved it even too tight that way.
What are you making?
Bacon and tomato.
And see how this voice is kind of talking over the end of her line. We don't want that because the listener can really only hear one voice at a time. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm doing it visually to start, but really the ultimate test is how does it sound?
What are you making?
Bacon and tomato.
Still a little too tight. I'm going to move him over, this line here over a bit.
What are you making?
Bacon and tomatoes.
And really it's a judgment call based on two things. How does it sound? Does it sound natural? Is there natural pauses between the two people? But then ultimately, the ultimate test is going to be, did it come in under 30 seconds at the end? 30 seconds, if we scroll down to the right, this is where 30 seconds is on our timeline. By the end of this commercial, it has to be completely finished by this point. And that may require us to go back and make some readjustments to bring it in what's called under time. Let me play it one more time.
What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Okay, and I might want to give it just a bit.
What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Okay, so I've got a bit of a space there. I'm going to leave it now because I think this is going to be pretty tight to get under 30 seconds. So I don't want to spread it out too much yet, but I can always do it later. Okay, the next line of the script is... Where is it? There it is. Okay, I'm making dinner tonight. Done. Oh, really? What are you making? Done. Bacon and tomato sandwiches. Done. Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen skills. Maybe we should just order dinner from Uber Eats. By the way, Uber Eats is highlighted in bold here simply because that's the first mention of the product's name. And if you look, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, Uber Eats, I've mentioned the product or the company 3 times in this commercial. Really important you don't just say it once. Okay, so I'm looking for that line, and I know it's going to be this clip unless I've mistakenly moved some things. Let's just confirm the clip first. Again, I have both clips active now because we're staggering between male, female, and female now.
Sandwiches.
Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen.
Yeah, that's the correct line. Let's see how the timing works. I'm going to move it. There's the end of the male. I'm going to move it so it starts just after the end of that male.
Sandwiches.
Are you sure?
It sounds a little tight. I'm going to move it over a bit.
Sandwiches.
Are you?
Again, play back a little bit. Go to your selection tool. Don't play right too close to the edit point because it makes it hard for you to adjust to what you're hearing. Move your play point back a bit so then when the edit happens, you have time to adjust your listening.
Tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure?
Hey, that sounds natural. I'm going to go back even.
Tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen skills
Uber
before.
Eats.
Oh, see, I've got this sound now overlapping. So what do I need to do? Zoom out. Okay. Use your selection tool first. Select all those clips you want to move. Okay. Use your time shift tool. I'm going to move them way down past 30. I'm going to do the same thing while I'm at it with the female voices. I'm going to grab all those and I'm going to move them all way down. So they'll never get in the way anymore when I'm trying to listen to an edit. Blow up everything and then scroll over. There we go. I'm going to zoom out one. There. Male, female, male, female. Again, selection tool. Let's listen to it.
Tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen skills before. Maybe we should just order dinner from Uber Eats.
Okay, you get the idea now, I'm quite sure. So what you're going to do is stagger your clips so that they're in order based on the script. Okay? So you're going to put all your clips in the order of the script. Again, we're editing voices first. I always edit voices first and then deal with other things like sound effects and music later. Okay, so that's your assignment. Go and get your timeline so that everything's lined up, and then we'll take it from there.